All right, so I've spent like a week troubleshooting on this car. Some pretty serious issues that we were encountering. It seemed like everything I touched started leaking. So I didn't get to film everything that I wanted to because I was basically kind of fighting with a lot of things. Like for instance, the starter was low on power. There's something going on inside of it, so I took it to a local electrical shop, had them rebuild it, convert it to high torque, and I brought it home and it gave me nothing but problems. I took it back to them and they did not fix it right, so I continually had problems with it until I had to go buy a whole new starter for this car. So, you know, hundreds and hundreds of dollars where I should have had $100 in it. I'm not real happy about that. We're going to go back and talk with that shop. But that's the kind of stuff that happens. But while I'm trying to troubleshoot the starting system, having trouble with the starter itself made for a pretty difficult time. So I'm back on the reassembly process now. The fuel tank back here, everything is all plumbed in. So I'm going to put the floorboard back. I'm going to leave the front floorboard out until we're totally done. I still got like put a brake light switch in and finish wiring that up, make some bracketry and stuff, which is our specialty. So we still got more to do. Let's go. All right, you guys. So I'm in the process of reinstalling the seats, reassembling this car. I need to make a new topper for the new battery here because it's a little bit different style than the other one. And I think I'll cut something on my CNC table that has my logo in it and stuff, and maybe I'll try to polish that up just a little bit. I'm not very good at polishing per se, but I do. The problem we have here is, though, okay, is they use like a 3/4 inch plywood for the floors of this car, and where the seats bolt in place, there's actually not enough room for the bolts. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab my die grinder and I'm going to try and clearance these out just a little bit, and then maybe we can see about painting them back in or something of that nature. Even the customer can paint them back in. But I'm looking for safety, so I'm going to make this so these bolts actually fit in here with the nuts to hold the seats together. So that's one of the things I'm going to be working on right now, and then a new topper for the battery over here. So and then once the doghouse goes back in and things like that, then I want to see about making plates that cover all this, so you can do like the leather cover over this so you don't see to the ground under here and all of that. So we still have a few more things to do. So yeah, let's keep going then. All right, you guys, so while I'm waiting on a new distributor to come in, I've been kind of fighting with that on this car. Man, it's been a kind of a nightmare. So the car originally has wood floors in it. I think the owner built these, and he just used some wood screws to hold it down and tech screws to hold it to the frame, things like that. So right now I'm in the process. I'm just going through and I'm taking his wood floor and I am putting in wooded nutserts for wood, threaded nutserts for wood, to put threads in his floor, so that everything can be bolted down mechanically rather than with like tech screws or any of that. So I had to come up with a cool little trick for this, because these particular nutserts that I have are slotted for a screwdriver. The first couple I tried to put into this floor and it just broke right off. So I tell you what I did is I take an old nutsert with a 1/4 bolt, and I make basically a driver out of it that I can remove the bolt, and then everything just kind of comes apart. Now I'm taking a little bit of wood glue and I'm just gluing these in. I think I use a 5/16 drill bit. These are going to have 1/4 threads when I'm done. Little bit of wood glue, and then I just want to kind of get it started. About like that. Then I can pull this up high enough that it's no longer engaging the threads of the nutsert, and then this piece just pops right out, and then I can reset it to do yet another one. So I've just been holding it with pliers. It's a little bit easier. This nut set is slowly but surely pressing, but I've only got 2 of these left. And of course, before it's all said and done, we will go ahead and, probably restain this floor and kind of do that. That might be a project that the owner is interested in doing, though. There are some things that he still wants to kind of do, which I can understand. I tried putting these in yesterday without glue, and it doesn't work that way. So you kind of have to glue these in, or they just pull right out of the threads. I got some wiring in the car I'm going to be doing next. I'm not much of an electrician, but I do know what I like to see. So, one more, we'll set the threads. And then what I've been doing is I'll run a tap down through it after it dries, just to clean up the threads and all that, so my next bolts go in nice and smooth. So as you can see, I put threads all throughout here, threads in here, so the doghouse fits in here. I'll sand this all off. The brake pedal actually goes in here. It's all threaded now instead of just relying on like wood screws in this wood floor. I didn't like that. And then here, it's bolted to the frame, just to help this gentleman out and make it just a little bit cleaner. I made a little bezel, aluminum bezel and stuff. I'll show you guys here in a little while. So now I'm gonna go do some electrical in the car. Yay! Man, you guys, I've spent the last 3 weeks trying to troubleshoot the ignition system in this car. The original car obviously had a point style distributor in it. I've actually installed that in this car, and I got the car to run okay, but beyond that, it wasn't really perfect. Eventually that's going to burn up the points and all that. Anyways, we wanted a nice electronic style ignition or something better than the points. So we had installed an MSD billet ready to run style distributor. That totally let us down. It started to fail almost immediately, and then all it did was make my troubleshooting more difficult over the next 3 weeks, right? So recently, just a couple days ago, I got a Speedmaster 79 distributor ready to run style, put it in this car. I actually had to call a friend of mine to come and help me do some of the troubleshooting because it got pretty deep and we found a few different deficiencies in the car. But also one of those deficiencies would have been my attitude, right? Old hot rod, old guys rule attitude. That's the mistake I was making.